Assalamualaikum. Hi guys, so let me tell you a little bit about case study of gas and Grouse. It's begin with Crystal Corporation is a natural gas integrated enterprise based in the United States. It is a public utility that distributes natural gas in the southern Wyoming, and it's maintained and managed delivery facilities that include 27,612 miles of straight mains, services pipes, and interconnecting pipeline, as well as long-term franchises issued by cities and counties in the area. An oil corporation with a 4 billion market capitalization, the key gas well developers in and around the area, as well as on the MEJAH overlooking the city. MEJAH is a much needed resources that provide the country with a renewable and affordable energy supply. Questa had drilled 76 wells on the 14,800 acres it rent from the federal government and Wyoming state government by the beginning of 2004, with hopes to dig at least 400 more wells in the future. The Pinedale Mesa, also known as the Pinedale Anticline, is a 40-mile-long ridge that runs north and south through Wyoming's Green River Basin, and region known for being the entrance to the Bridger-Tutor wilderness hunting, fishing, and hiking secrets. The city of Pinedale is located below the mesa at its northern end, and it's surrounded by hundreds of newly sunk natural gas wells that are constantly pumped. At the Pinedale Mesa, the BLM has implemented the following restriction. First, during the breeding seasons, roads, wells, and other structures had to be at least a quarter mile away from grouse breeding grounds and at least 2 miles away from nesting areas. Second, there will be no drilling during the season. In addition, many different birds and wildlife from pitchbeak rabbits and sage sparrows to mule deer, elk, and pronghorn would benefit from conserving the varied and large country sage grouse require. They seek refuge under the umbrella. About 350 species of sagebrush-associated plants and animals have now been listed as threatened or endangered.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Fairuza Syahira binti ABDUL. My metric number is F50096. Question 1 stated, what are the systemic, corporate and individual issue raised in this case? Thank you, Isha, for the introduction. Okay, I think all of you will know a little bit about Questa and Pinedale. Okay, before I start with question 1, let me tell you what the ethical issue of this case. First, gas drilling had compromised the wise growth. Second, drilling damaged sage growth. And the last ethical issue in this case is saga grouse need genuine landscape. For systematic issue mentioned about the environment, okay, whether the government should take environment action because of drilling activities can give some impact to the habitat. Okay, even though drilling activities can give benefit to the local economy as well, but they must to take care about the saga grouse, because saga grouse nearly extinct, as well as other wildlife population also almost extinct in the Pinedale Mesa. Okay, talk about economical mention that business activities around Pinedale actually allowed to drilling activity because it also gives positive effect, which is about the jobs and increase in the tax profit, and also government collect tax from coal, gas and oil activities. Then, political issues stated that new supply of natural gas burn much more cleanly than any other fossil fuel. Therefore, natural gas extracted in United States and make United States reduce reliance on foreign energy supply. Okay, go to the corporate issue. This mentioned that drilling activity actually give negative effect to the environment, habitat and noises due to the constant movement made by truck and other large machine. Okay, so therefore it need to be considered whether Questa Corporation must be able to satisfy natural gas demand without they have to worry about being sued for pollution issue. Okay, talk about winter month. Okay, Questa, when it's come to the winter month, they need to stop drilling operation, and this gives some several impacts of this, which is cost getting increased. During drilling crew have to let out at the beginning, new crew had to be hired and retrain every spring, and this season made the schedule get interrupted, and the operation take much longer than the company wanted, and it's make Questa feel frustrated. Okay, go to the operation. Questa, they need to keep up to date to new technology. Then, this is why Questa submitted a proposal to BLM in order to invest in a new technology of drilling, which is directional drilling, and it is cost too much. Last but not least, about individual issue. Actually, it mentioned a few issues, but I just want to highlight from Drew Bauer, which is the president of the Petroleum Association of Women. Okay, he's mentioned that all the endangered species, especially saga grouse, are not good for the oil and gas industry, because it can give a serious effect to the oil and gas development. Okay, so therefore, consideration on it must to take action in order to prevent this species from being listed for the good of industry. In my opinion, actually, it is hard to divide this section because it falls together into one big issue. And actually, we can see that humans have taken this planet into their hands and destroyed it due to the extreme pollution. To sum up, actually, humans are truly all polluters due to each human being pollute, make the pollution problem have increased as human population has multiplied.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is AZLIN binti Muhammad SHARIF. My metric number is S51984. Okay, I will continue the question number 2, which is how should wildlife species like grouse or deer be valued, and how should the value be balanced against the economic interest of a society or a company like Questa? And number 3, what principle or rule will you propose we use to balance the value of wildlife species economic interest? Okay, nowadays people notice several reasons to be value a wildlife. It is because they have no awareness to protect the wildlife. Animals also have a right to be protected. Then, wildlife species like grouse or deer should be valued. We, as a human, should not hurt them for no good reasons. As mentioned during this case study, in June 2004, Western Association of Fish and Wildlife Agency concluded that there were only between 140,000 and 250,000 of birds left. The dramatic decline was then totally on 50% of their sagebrush nesting and pairing grounds. Besides that, biologists also believe that if its sagebrush habitat are not protected, the birds are going to be reduced by 2050. These values are often balanced upon economic interest if and provided that the Questa Corporation have a high awareness for the setting restriction and it is obey the foundations. Besides that, we have a tendency to conjointly out to live the impact of gas drilling operation on wildlife in Pandal Mesa, whether or not the impact is a little or not impact at all. If the impact is fatal, the project should be stopped. Next, the principle or rule will be proposed to be used to balance the value of wildlife species against economic interest is ecological ethics. Ecological ethics is the view that non-human part of the environment deserve to be preserved for their own sake, regardless of whether this benefit human being. For example, during this case study, Questa company will invest within the new technology that reduce the impact of the wildlife. However, given that if the absolutely was allowed to drill on the mesa throughout the winter months. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is NURFARRA binti MEJAH. My metric number S52201. Today I want to present question number 3.
In light of the fact that natural gas reduce the US undesirable dependence on foreign oil and the fact that natural gas produce less greenhouse gas than coal, oil and other fuels, should QStar continue its drilling operation? reduce the environment impact of QSTA's drilling. Operation implies that QSTA is morally obligated to stop drilling wells on the Pinedale Mesa, explained.
According to U.S. Energy Information Administration, natural gas exploration, drilling and production affect the environment. When geologists explore for natural gas deposit on land, they may disturb vegetation and soil with their vehicle. Drilling a natural gas well on land may require clearing and leveling an area around the well site. Okay, for my opinion, when viewed in depth, QSTA cannot continue their operation. This is because there are many impacts to wildlife and others. Firstly, drilling activities can disturb wildlife habitat. Human movement, loud noises and vehicle transportation from drilling activities can disturb species for communicate, nesting and breeding. Okay, next. Spill can be deadly to animal toxic that is channeled or spilled into the sea, will cause adverse effect to animals and will affect habitat. Okay, the toxic cause the animal to be unable to breathe as it covers the surface of the sea. Okay, thirdly, affected while doing drilling activities is air and water pollution. It can cause local communication 1 mile and live close for air and water pollution. This will cause health problems. Fossil fuel burned by power plant, industries and vehicles, it will produce toxic gas that will result in a health risk caused by oil and gas. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. Hello everyone. My name is SUFEA ADILAH binti MUHAMAD. My metric number is S50227. My question is, what if anything should QSTA and other company be doing differently? In my opinion, what QSTA or any other company should do is think of good for well-being of wildlife in the future. It can be demonstrated with their support through a way to create a fair situation for all parties involved. As we know in ecological ethics, whether something can benefit humans or not, animals must be protected for their benefit. The reality today is humans always think that wildlife will harm humans in the end. Apart from that, some people think that animals like wildlife provide benefit for human life, and the animal has their value that must be protected. Next, every animal has certain moral rights. They are entitled to be cared and protected according to the value associated with their right. Therefore, human beings should have generous sense of responsibility to respect this right. Even though human rights may override the right of animals in certain situations, QSTA and other companies can participate in sustainable development programs. Among the programs, companies can participate in habitat conservation plan for wildlife conservation. Conservation also important in Pinedale Mesa. According to the Act, the endangered wildlife must be protected and preserved. Apart from that, providing extra compensation would give rescue of registered species. Therefore, the company needs to preserve the species of endangered wild animals. Other than that,
The company can express their provision by giving donation of Bureau of Land Management. In addition, they need to aware and work together to stop pollution and save the environment. Lastly, whatever they do, they must refer to legal right.
Hello, Assalamualaikum everyone. I'm MGM4106 binti RASIDI, metric number S51815. We'll proceed with question number 5. Okay, so the question sounds like this. From an ethical point of view, was alternative 4 the best option among those from which the BLM chose? Is another alternative better from an ethical point of view? Explain your answer. Oops, before that, I will explain what was the alternative 4 are doing. First, it allowed winter drilling and 4,399 wells on 600 packs, confine drilling to parts of the core area, prohibit drilling or disturbance of winter range of mule deer or pronghorn antelope or mating and nesting areas of sage grouse. Plus, prohibit drilling on the thousands of acres like the flank area surrounding the core area where drilling was allowed and the others more. Nowadays, the issue of environment pollution has been rising rapidly. Many countries are really focused on environmental issue and there have been several ups and downs when it's come to reducing the environment pollution. As a result, in my point of view, alternative 4 was the best choice among those considered by the BLM. This is due to alternative for stability as well as the need for renewable energy sources and biodiversity conservation. Plus, in the alternative 4, it is stated clearly into the details of how the drilling activities should be placed and allowable to operate. Moreover, one of the good points that no other options has is it need the control. In this case, alternative 4 is the best drilling environment opportunity to have a smaller pollution to wildlife management. However, we also should take into consideration by stopping the drilling is not only alternative, we should also think about the workers who are involved in this work progress. Quistar and other companies will handle their gas extraction in this manner while reducing the range of direct effect since the necessary land surface area is lower than in the previous state. Furthermore, it mitigates the risk of unintended consequences for biodiversity by generating funds in the event of an impact that must be addressed. Besides, another option is to implement alternative 4, which entails taking more environmentally conscious steps to address other types of pollutants such as air, water, noise and land emissions. This is offered because alternative 4 focus on fewer on pollution impacts aside from wild animals. In a nutshell, alternative 4 is the foremost decision among those from which the BLM indicated. Through doing so, the extraction process would be the least effect on biodiversity, but it will also consider natural gas access for the benefit of nations. Last but not least, it would also strike a balance between the benefits of pollution control and environmental preservation. Alright, I think that's all for question 5. I end with thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is IZZATI binti ABDUL GHUTHUS. My matric number S52537. I want to continue my question, which is question number 6. Okay, should the loss of species produced by the drilling operation of Q-Star by consider a problem of pollution or a problem of conservation? Can the loss of species be evaluated as an external cost? Explain. In my opinion, there are pros and cons. The pros is by continuing Q-Star drilling operation can provide many advantage and pleasure to the public. Among the advantage provided by Q-Star to the public is by opening up new employment opportunity and increase the income incurred from tax royalty and being able to supply clean energy to the nature. Next, the company need to continue their innovation so that the animal around the Q-Star can survive by having good air to be breathed. In addition, QSTA can also carry out several measures to address pollution and protect wildlife population. For example, using drilling technology that reduce noise, air and water pollution. Then there are also the disadvantage of drilling operation, especially in densely populated areas. This is because QSTA drilling operation have caused wildlife to be affected and damaged to the operation area. In addition, this drilling operation has also caused soil pollution as a result of truck traffic and carry out operation on the land, so as to affect wildlife habitat. Then water pollution is caused by drilling waste and air pollution is caused by drilling rig. Therefore, external costs such as governmental and conservation expense incurred to secure the endangered species and the loss of species. Overall, there is an internal and external cost totaling to a social cost. Finally, in terms of utilitarianism, the loss of species can be assessed as an external cost, so this cost need to be borne by the company. This is because the extinction of wild habitat and the occurrence of pollution is due to the construction of large platform in the middle of the wildlife area.
In conclusion, the company expanding operations are intruding in the wildlife habitat on the top of MEJAH. The innovation would reduce any harmful effect on wildlife. Therefore, no activity of drilling in the MEJAH during the winter. The Bureau of Management accepted the proposal to allow the company to test feasibility of directional drilling and its impact on the animal during the winter, and it was failing.